Finally, the god of Pokemon is now mine. Whew. Well, after spending all that time playing, I think I'm ready to give my honest opinion and review of the game. Hello trainers! We hope you're enjoying the Hisui region. We know there's a lot to chew on, so we hope you take your time and enjoy every minute. Will do. Well, enough of that. It's time for the next Pokemon game.
Wait, slow down.
Pokemon Scarlet
Please,
and Violet.
slow
Open
down.
world, more details, updated graphics,
breathe
new monsters,
just a little.
Spain. Gen 9 is coming, everybody, whether you're ready or not. A month after releasing its series-defining Gen 4 reimagining in Legends Arceus, the Pokemon Company announced the next entry in the series, Pokemon Scarlet and Pokemon Violet, will release in late 2022, a year that is already jam-packed with Nintendo Switch games. I know not everyone plays games at my pace, but doesn't this release schedule seem suffocating? I am genuinely worried that I won't be able to play them all, and that frightens me. You know, I really thought Game Freak would take a nice break from their 3-year development cycle and let their next project cook a little longer. Go on vacation, see their families, touch grass, anything but rush out another game. But maybe that's why I'm not a manager at a multi-million-dollar company. Regardless of how I feel, Game Freak is moving on to its next generation with Scarlet and Violet, a completely open-world game taking inspiration from Legends Arceus' proof of concept. Granted, we haven't seen the gameplay yet, but based on the topography of this new region, as well as social media pushing the whole open world concept, it's fair to expect Gen 9 will carry on where Legends Arceus left off to a degree. Even Sword and Shield seems like a small stepping stone for what could be considered the staple for the series going forward, a true 3D Pokemon game. First off, I think the world looks pretty good, beautiful even. Unique landscapes, creative architecture, winding roads. There's a lot of vibrant life in this short teaser without showing a whole lot of Pokemon. I just can't help but compare it to Gen 8, which despite how much I loved Galar, was a bit dull and constricting outside of the wild area in terms of design. In this new region, however, it feels possible to get carried away wandering around the forest, sidetracked from the main mission ahead. I have no idea if the player is free to roam the world wherever they want, or if that progression will still be linear, but I'm still excited to explore this world and see what Pokemon are hiding there. Graphically speaking, it's quite the improvement. The character models have more detail, as seen in Seviper's skin and Magnemite's, I guess, metal. Even the player character's outfit holds more detail compared to the previous entries. Then, on a grander scale, the buildings and wildlife offer much more to the eyes instead of looking bland and empty. Just look at the player character's home. It's so warm and inviting, filled with color and environmental detail. I know it's not Elden Ring levels of quality, but for a Switch game, it's not bad, especially after playing through Arceus and its lack of detail. However, draw distance, while improved, still seems to be an issue, but I'm pretty forgiving on things like that, especially if everything nearby runs well. Unlike Legends Arceus reveal trailer, I didn't see any major frame rate drops or lag, so that's definitely encouraging. Draw distance to me is just a nice fluff. If a game runs well enough but has some draw distance issue, I don't really care. But maybe that matters to you. As for the inspiration for the new area, we can all agree that it's Spain, right? It's kind of been shoved in our faces at this point. From the hidden map of Spain in the reveal trailer to the cities sharing similar designs with famous Spanish buildings. I'm so excited for the Spanish speakers who, have any ties with Spain. It must be exciting to see your area of the world be turned into a Pokemon game. Gen 5 was obviously America, and me being very much American, it's cool to see your area of the world brought to life in a way. Happy for the Spanish fans, and I hope you get all the representation that you are looking for. Even the starter Pokemon have Spanish-inspired names. Being the uncultured simpleton I am, I didn't recognize that until some Spanish-speaking friends pointed it out. Its name is Brigadito.
Sorry, I don't speak Italian.
Speaking of the 3 starters, what a strong trio. I really like all 3 of them because they're all cute and mostly unique. Not to say I dislike Gen 8 starters. Heck, Scorbunny is one of my favorite starters out there. But when you compare the 2 sets, Gen 9 starters just have a little more originality and detail going for them. Although, not gonna lie, I thought they were fake for a moment since I saw them before watching the actual trailer. These are very convincing fakes. They're real. Oh! More so than ever, I'm struggling to pick who my starter will be. Grass Kitty, Fire Pepper Croc, or Sir Quaxley all seem to be solid choices. I love how cute Sprigatito is, and the happy face looks so precious, I just want to pet it. Fuecoco looks adorably goofy, and I think it has a lot of promise to have a sick final evolution. Without being firefighting, please, thank you. And then there's Dung Quaxley, the distinguished gentleman of the group. If he's not a knight of some kind, I'll only be slightly disappointed. At the end of the day, as shallow as it may sound, I really think it depends on what the final evolution will be. We all know what happened to Litten. Granted, if it turns out to be a female Incineroar, whatever. I'm not gonna burn down the game or anything like that. Maybe I'll really enjoy it, but it just depends on what the other final evolutions will be like. That said, this is a solid trio, and I'm excited to see what typings and designs they go with. Then there's the new player characters. Oh boy. Last gen, I was debating whether I should play as a boy or a girl, but this time, I don't really care. No, I don't. They are both dull. So dull, it's uncanny, ugly. I can't put my finger on it. It's just so off-putting. Maybe it's the fact that they're wearing identical uniforms, but it feels lifeless compared to previous protagonists. I imagine they're trying to encourage customizing your avatar with all sorts of designer clothes and whatnot, which is neat, but as someone who enjoys seeing the new base designs, I'm a little disappointed. However, maybe my lack of enthusiasm comes from the change in art style. I really enjoyed Sword and Shield's character model design, and Legend Arceus took it a step further with some great characters like Arezu, Adaman, Irida, etc. Even the player characters made a mark for themselves. But I look at Gen 9 and I see generic plastic faces, like a Barbie game mixed with Pokémon Snap. Actually, someone on Twitter pointed out how similar the new player character looks to new Pokémon Snap, and I could totally see it. The more rounded eyes, chubbier face. Honestly, that was one part of Snap that I didn't like, the character models. Maybe it's an uncanny valley kind of phenomena? Or maybe I'm too much of a weeb. I don't know. I'm sure I'll get used to it eventually. Touching briefly on some minor details, it looks like the Pokemon Center has been reduced to a Pokemon Heal and Go station. Granted, it's hard to make out, but I don't see any walls around this building, just a roof. Unless the building is very tiny, the center is now nothing more than a kiosk. Getting rid of loading screens is fine by me, but I feel bad for the unemployed Nurse Joyce.
Daggum robots taking away our jobs.
In the distance, we see what might be a stadium, potentially a gym. I hope it doesn't mean the return of the football theme, but this is Europe we're talking about. Then again, bullfighting is a historically popular thing in Spain, so maybe they have gyms inspired by that? Although, wait a minute. I don't think killing Pokemon is going to be the way to go. Maybe it'll be another totem Pokemon situation. And now for the live action portion of the trailer. There's this star symbol with a zaggy line down the middle in a picture frame and on the wall here. Perhaps a symbol for the region. We see another separate symbol on what might be a shirt. Looks like a web with some sort of creature on it. New Pokemon? Evil team? A logo for Game Freak or Creature Inc. that I'm not aware of? I don't know. And now, let's touch on what mechanics I think will carry over from Legends Arceus to Gen 9 and how the two will differ. Mainly, free exploration and the thrill of catching them all will transfer from Legends, but the action RPG and new battle system will not. Seeing these forested areas with tall mountains to me indicates that exploration will play a heavy part in Gen 9. While the objective might not be creating the first ever Pokédex, a traditional Pokemon adventure can still focus on exploring an area freely, finding rare Pokemon, battling traders, and getting strong enough to take on the Pokemon League, or whatever system this generation adopts. I could see the center of the map being a grand city with the outside separated into large sections that you can traverse freely once you gain flight. That way you're somewhat restricted in the beginning, but then it opens up, allowing you to choose freely what areas you want to explore. I doubt it'll be like Legends Arceus where you can only explore one area at a time, going back and forth between a hub world, but I do think the open world will expand as you find more Pokemon and grow stronger. Then again, looking at this map, I don't see any mountain barriers, so maybe it truly is free roaming right from the beginning. If so, I wonder how the game will adapt to players freely exploring without continuing the main plot. Difficulty scaling would be neat, but I'm not holding my breath on that one, Game Freak. Something I'm unsure about are the quality of life improvements we saw in Legends. I'm hoping the quick simplicity of wild Pokemon battles carries over, because going back to a loading screen with long musical cues would be difficult. What can I say? Legends spoiled me. Plus, changing moves without having to forget them forever is such a nice feature. Please don't ever go back. The anxiety of deleting a move is not fun. I know, such a minor thing, but it makes a world of difference. However, I'm hesitant to say the action part of Arceus will carry over to Scarlet and Violet. While Legends Arceus is indeed about exploration, there is a bit of dexterity skill involved when challenging some of the bosses along the journey, or even catching tough Pokemon. Dodging and throwing items is crucial to beating the game, most of the time. I'm just not sure Game Freak wants to stick with that genre for a new entry in the series. I'm not against it, mind you, not at all, but I don't think it's as beginner-friendly as Game Freak usually shoots for. No, Legends isn't Dark Souls, I get that. I'm just saying Game Freak might stick to their more family-friendly adventure RPG style of gameplay. In other words, major boss fights will once again focus on Pokemon battles, and catching Pokemon will be done through battles. No idea if they'll keep the ninja dodge action, but I do think crouching and hiding in tall grass will make a return at the very least. To remove the stealth element completely from Legends gameplay would take away some of, if not most, of the enjoyment of collecting them all, in my opinion. But I guess we'll see. Upon further research, however, I noticed the official Pokemon page for Scarlet and Violet says you'll be able to experience the true joy of the Pokemon series, battling against wild Pokemon in order to catch them, now in an open world game that players of any age can enjoy. Sounds a lot like what I was saying earlier, doesn't it? Game Freak wants to hit a certain beginner level of gameplay, and to them, Legends' take on the series was too advanced, which is silly, but that's their opinion. And to be fair, it would be strange to completely change the series after one game. But I also think it's fair to expect some good aspects of Legends will carry over, just maybe not the stealth action RPG aspect. We shall see. Beyond that, breeding and portable storage will return since Scarlet and Violet will follow the more traditional route of Pokemon. Crafting probably won't return, although I wouldn't mind it being expanded in some way. Gym battles, I can see it going either way. Lately, Game Freak has been experimenting with new ways to measure the player's progress, but returning to gyms in Sword and Shield was, for me, very welcoming. So personally, I would love to see a new but familiar take on gyms. Same with the Pokemon League. Well, actually I want that to be more classic style. Sword and Shield kind of went in a tournament type area. In other words, I did not quite enjoy Sword and Shield's Pokemon League. Give me new characters with tough teams, and I'll be good to go. They can even be part of the story for all I care. I don't want to refight the gym leaders. Is that too much to ask? Am I being too greedy? Maybe. Moving on, I know story is not the main focus, but an RPG should really try to show and tell an engaging plot. Since this is the second generation of Pokemon on the Switch, maybe Gen 9 will be the Gen 5 or Gen 7 equivalent of story quality, at least compared to Gen 4 and Gen 6. And after Legends Arceus' slightly stronger storytelling and character growth, I hope Game Freak tries to tell a good one in Spain and doesn't cut corners. But I'm not getting my hopes up. Lastly, let's discuss the new Legendaries, or at least my theories on them. In the cinematic section of the trailer, you'll notice a bowl of fruit sitting oh so conspicuously under the spotlight. And since Wikipedia tells me Spain is the top producer of grapes for wine making, I expect there will be some grape imagery to be found in the game. Maybe we'll get a grape dragon instead of Applin. Spain is also home to a fair majority of Europe's oranges, so it makes sense why oranges and grapes would be featured in this little fruit bowl, I suppose. In another scene, we see two shields. Sequel to Sword and Shield confirmed! No! Stop. We see two shields, one with what is clearly a bunch of grapes, and the other with what might be a citrus fruit. The plot thickens. It does not end there, though. Quickly fast forward to the logo reveal, and you'll see shapes sparkling from the logos. Triangles from Scarlet, and circles from Violet. Grapes are obviously spherical, and while oranges are not triangular in our dimension, the shield here splits the citrus fruit into 8 triangular slices. So what does that mean? Fruit Legendaries confirmed, baby! You ever heard of dragon fruit? Okay, maybe I'm getting a little carried away, but there's no doubt in my mind this confirms Scarlet will reference the citrus fruit and Violet the grapes. Maybe there are two evil organizations fighting over the best fruit in Spain.
Personally, I'm on Team Grape.
It could also deal with treasure of some kind, maybe jewels in those shapes. But I'm just throwing things on the wall, seeing what sticks. While I know I said I felt overwhelmed with Pokemon as of late, I'm still excited to jump into this new adventure come late 2022, which means most likely November, if we're being honest. From now until then is enough time to digest Brilliant Diamond, Shiny Pearl, and Legends Arceus, and get our gaming appetites hungry for another one. Although I'm still worried for my bank account after buying all these Switch games. Please help. Either way, I'm positive Scarlet and Violet will finally bring this series to the modern age and be proof that the typical series can thrive in an open world environment. Will it be perfect? No. Will you be disappointed if you're expecting Legends gameplay perfectly? I think you will be. But if you are looking for a true Pokemon experience, one that has been from the very beginning, you will find it here, now in an open world 3D environment. Leading up to release, I expect Pokemon will continue their minimalist marketing, show a new update every once in a while, maybe every couple months, but save the huge info dumps for after the game is out, just like they did with Sword and Shield and Legends Arceus. I much prefer those small flashes of news versus knowing everything the game has to offer beforehand. My only request, Game Freakins, my only request, please let us see the final evolution before launch. I beg you! I don't want to regret my starter choice, please! I can only keep an open mind for so long. I will restart my game if I don't like the final evolution. I will do that! I am not crazy! Please don't make me do that. Thank you so much for watching. Are you excited for Pokemon Scarlet and Pokemon Violet? Who will your starter be? Let me know in the comments below. If you liked what you saw, please like this video and subscribe for more. I know I haven't done my Xenoblade video yet, but that is in the works. Please look forward to that. I'm also hoping to do an Arceus video at some point as well, but obviously I did not expect to get Gen 9 at this point. We shall see. I've made empty promises before. Until next time, goodbye, you good people. Once again, Detective Pikachu 2 is a no-show during Pokemon Presents. I know we have a mainline game coming in late 2022, but it still seems odd the sequel is taking so long. Maybe they're trying to get Ryan Reynolds to voice the video game. Or maybe solving the case of the missing Detective Pikachu sequel was the sequel all along. It's ingenious! The perfect meta mystery! Come on, Pikachu, we're gonna find that game!
Pikachu!
Oh gosh. How does she do it? How does she do it?